MindZ is happy to bring that to all of you for free. We're going to capitalize on 2020. All right, there he is, Coach Mike Gray. Let's bring him in.
There he is. What's going on?
What's going on? How are you?
Good, good. I was just telling all the viewers that you were basically like the Roger Bannister of New Jersey wrestling, who broke the 4-minute mile. We had great New Jersey wrestlers, NCAA champs, All-Americans. You were the first one to win 4 state titles.
Yeah. So we'll take it. It was a while ago, but we'll take
it. Yeah. How's everything going? How's everything with the Cornell wrestlers?
I didn't hear that. Can you go say that again?
Yeah. How's everything going with Cornell? How are the guys doing?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, no, the guys are doing well. We have some guys up here at Cornell that are training a bit. Obviously, we changed our workouts a lot. Obviously, we're not just all in the room, just getting after it because COVID, you know what I mean? But we're doing what we can. We're in small groups. We're doing a lot of outdoor training and, just doing what we can, but being super productive and, just trying to get the most out of this time that we can, honestly.
That's it. So. That's all you could do. How's your family doing? How's everyone?
They're great. Yeah. So I have a little boy. He's going to be 2 here on July 20th. So that's fantastic. So
that's great.
I mean, I've been able to have a lot more, family time, you could say, because of COVID. So that's been a plus. And I know a lot of other folks have had the same. So, that's been great. I've been able to spend more time with my little boy and my wife and, just kind of working from home and going in there and getting the smaller, like I said, the smaller workouts with our guys, the smaller groups. It's been fun to, work with them in smaller groups as opposed to bigger groups. But, for the most part, it's been good. And we're just trying to have as much quality time as possible and to, like I said before, make the best of the situation because it's definitely not easy, but that's all you can really do is make the best of it.
That's it. That's what we're all doing. You said your son's turning 2 on the 20th?
Yeah, he's gonna be 2 on the 20th. So we're excited.
I got one
hopefully...
coming. I got one coming around then. I got one coming.
Oh, really?
Around that date. Yeah, around that date.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, maybe they'll have the same birthday. That'd be great. But yeah, so we're hoping that New York gets opened up. So we're in like phase 4, I guess, up here. So we should be able to have a little party for Declan. So that would be good. So.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Wasn't Yanni posting up his
expecting
pictures
a boy
and stuff?
Or a girl?
Boy, it's our second boy coming.
Ah, good for you.
Within 18 months. So they got a drill partner.
Yes. So that's God bless your wife.
Thank you. Yes. God bless her is right. So how's everything else going? What are the upcoming plans? You guys hear anything about what the story is going to be for this upcoming year?
So at Cornell specifically, we're deciding. The university and the president and the board of directors are deciding if I guess what the action plan will be for coming back to campus in the fall. If it'll be in August, if it'll be in September, if it'll just be from September to November, if everybody will go home after Thanksgiving break. So just kind of trying to figure that stuff out, and then the recruiting dead period got extended to August 31st. I'm sure you've kind of seen that. So can't have anybody on campus. Can't have any recruits or anything like that on campus, and you also can't do official visits, and you can't do home visits with them. So just chatting with the recruits on the phone, and doing a lot of Zoom calls and things like that. But we're pretty much kind of at the mercy of I guess COVID, and at the mercy of NCAA of when they'll open things up and when we can get kids on campus and and get that whole process going. We're really excited because our wrestling facility, our addition to our wrestling facility is going really well, and that should be done at the end of September. And we're really excited to get recruits on campus and show them all the progress that we've had. You know what I mean? So it's an exciting time for us, but it's also, it kind of stinks because we're not able to have tons of kids on campus right now, but we'll get there eventually. And, we're just really excited about the progress, and, it's just going to be a wonderful building. And it's going to, kind of change the wrestling landscape again, we think.
Oh man, and the facilities were already awesome.
Yeah, no. So I mean, we've had our facility now. It has four and a half mats. Big old locker room, training room, wrestling lounge, coaches' offices, a standalone wrestling facility. So now we're just adding even more space. So we'll actually have 2 wrestling rooms. So we'll have our the wrestling room we had already, which has 4.5 mats, and then we'll have another wrestling room which will have 2 mats, and that'll be our international style room. So
Wow.
That's going to be awesome. We're going to have an even bigger student lounge. We're going to have cold and hot tub therapy, massive tubs. Just really everything is just going to be bigger and better. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. What a tribute to Cornell wrestling. The not only the coaches, the athletes, the donors, the fans, because anywhere you guys go, you guys are rolling deep for years.
Yeah.
For years now.
Yeah, no, it's it really is a testament to I think it's a testament to Rob too. Rob Cole, our head coach. He's been there for 31 years, and he lives and breathes Cornell wrestling. And he didn't go there, which I think says even more about it. But he, from his work and our alumni's, our alumni willingness to donate, it kind of made it okay for athletic departments to give money to wrestling. It made it feasible to put big money into wrestling and upgrade facilities, because before the Freeman Wrestling Center and Cornell, the athletic department and the university built their willingness to help us build that facility. Wrestling rooms were in the dungeon of every university. Nobody had a great wrestling room. It was what it was. You took what you can get, and that was that. But now, since the Friedman Center started that wave, everybody's been, upgrading their facilities, and it's kind of been an arms race. So once again, we have to up the ante and keep up with the Joneses and have the best facility in the country once again. So
Seems like all the programs in the country could really thank Cornell for really setting the tone.
Honestly, like I said, it made
Yeah.
it, viable. And it showed athletic departments that it wasn't a waste of money, that they were going to get something out of this, and that they could succeed, pretty quickly if they got some people on board and got some great facilities, and then the program could take off. And you see that a lot with football and things like that. Facilities, they really matter, because especially in wrestling, and that's the great thing about the Freeman Wrestling Center, is that it's a one-stop shop for our guys. So they come on campus, and they could spend all day on campus, because in between classes, they can come and get workouts in. They can go to our student athlete lounge and get some food. They can do their studying, and they could do their tutor lessons at the Freeman Center. They can do their PT. Anything you need, you can do it at the Freeman Center. And that's really what our goal was I should say Rob's goal when he was originally coming up with the plans for the Freeman Center, to make it a one-stop shop where the kids could be here and wouldn't need to go anywhere on campus. They can get everything done at the Freeman Center.
That's a great thing. Like you said, you're able to work out, and it's kind of like the chill zone where everyone could hang out, and that's what keeps everyone together, like as a cohesive unit. How do you keep the guys together? Well, you have a place where they could congregate.
Yeah, no, and that builds. I think it really builds our family and wrestling dynamic really, really well. Our guys genuinely like to be around each other. They enjoy being around each other. They love being in the Freeman Center. And I don't think it's that way everywhere. A lot of programs, you got to set times and make sure the kids get in there. Whereas our kids are always in the Freeman Center.
Yeah.
From 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. And heck, a lot of them just go there at night to study because they want to get out of their apartment or the dorm, and they want to get to a different setting, where they can focus and just be alone. So they'll come and do homework till midnight, 1 a.m, and stay there. So it's awesome. We have guys in our wrestling facility pretty much almost around the clock, and it just shows you how much they love the facility, for one, but how much they also love being together and being part of the Cornell wrestling family. And that builds a wonderful culture, and you can tell by the success we had. Our guys really enjoy being part of our program.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember hearing on Flow that Yanni saying that he fell asleep several times there and didn't, they he didn't even make it back to his apartment or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but,
No,
but, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he's a little extra. He's always in there. So you got to kick him out of there.
Yeah, that's true. That's how it is with a lot of the greats. But you talked about family and creating that family-like atmosphere. Almost all coaches talk about it, but it seems like you really have that going over there, Cornell. How big is that when you have guys like that who buy in there? Of course, you guys are the coaches. There is the hierarchy there. There is the coaches and then the athletes. But at the same time, they do trust you. They do love you like family. And you could see it even just based on their social media posts. They're posting pictures of your kid and stuff like that. You could see they genuinely care. Talk about how important that is and how when you tell them to do something, it's that much, they want to try that much harder for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything. I think, the athlete-coach bond is really, really important. But especially at the college level, it's even more important than just, I guess, working for results, because you're affecting these kids' lives in the sense that you're there for them. So you're not just a coach. You're, you could say you're a life coach. You're a mentor. You're a shoulder to cry on. You're a voice to listen to. You can do everything for them. So for me personally, it's just being there for them through everything, whether it be wrestling, whether it be, their social life, whatever it might be. And like you said, that leads to, a different type of belief and care for the coaching staff that we get from our guys. They know that we're with them through thick and thin, and that no matter what the obstacle or what the situation is, whether it be wrestling, whether it be academic, whether it be social, whatever it is, we're going to be there for them. And that's how you really develop a culture. And it starts with this trust, and you develop the next level of trust by being there for your student athletes with, through any situation. And that's what we really strive for. And, that's something that me and my wife and I, we really love to have the kids over to our house and to have them intertwined with our family dynamic too. I think that's another way to build trust, is to let them in and let them become part of your personal family as well. Like Yanni, for instance, Yanni, Vito, a lot of the guys, they come over for dinner and they, really love being around Declan. And for me, it's fantastic because I have, 35 great role models for my little boy that I would be, more than happy if they grew up to, if Declan grew up to be like these guys. So it's a big, it's a big, I guess, spider web, right? They all lead to each other, but there's a lot of different dynamics and there's a lot of different, relationships that build a great team/family culture. And that's what we really got going on here.
Did you have a lot of that growing up with, because, okay, great programs you've been around, great coaches, great wrestlers throughout your life, you, your brothers.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you guys have that? Was it like that always? Because you're a guy who's, again, a lot of success, you and your brother, at a young age. A lot of those guys don't pan out. You guys then took it and succeeded at the highest level.
Yeah, no, I think so at first, just my family, and we started off wrestling with Pascagoula Hills, right? Pascagoula Hills Youth Club. Yeah, we had a great family dynamic there. We travel around and wrestle in all these tournaments. We get to fly all over the place and and go to all these different tournaments, and it was so much fun. I mean, honestly, a lot of times you'd go there just to hang out with your friends more, and then you had to wrestle too.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun, and that made it great. And honestly, that's what allowed you to succeed a lot, is because you weren't worried about your next match or who was in your bracket or whatever it might be. You were just going there to have a great time with your friends and to enjoy yourself, and then you would also take care of business along the way. But so yeah, I had a great family dynamic and great culture at Pascagoula Hills Youth Wrestling, and then at Del Barton, with Guy Russo, with Teddy O'Donnell, who was my coach for the first 3 years, and then obviously Brian Stoll, my senior year, and then Frankie Pirelli, Trevor Melody. There's just a whole slew of guys that were I guess that contributed to a great family dynamic, and then it led on to my college days as well. So I don't know if it was just luck, or I like to think that I had a part with and my family had a part building this dynamic and these great cultures with all the programs we've been at. But yeah, I've been lucky enough to be around or to been around great mentors, great coaches, great team leaders, all that good stuff. And then if you look at Team New Jersey and Fargo and stuff, we always had a good group of guys that were super invested over the summer, wanted to jump levels and do some really good things and put themselves on the map at Fargo and freestyle stuff as well. So, I mean, I think more than anything, the old adage, if you surround yourself with good people, good things are going to happen. And that's really what my parents pushed for. And then I kind of took over when I got to be a bit older. I just want to surround myself by great people. And I mean, you went to UPenn, even outside of the wrestling room, if you surround yourself with great people in the classroom, just with people that are, high excelling people that do great things, you're gonna rise with them. And then that was a big thing for me, with my academics and athletics at Del Barton, and the same thing at Cornell. Just trying to surround myself with the best people I could be around, because I knew that I would have a lot of success doing it that way.
Yep. Well, it seems like, as people get around Mike Ray, they get luckier and luckier. So I think there's something going on there. In fact, it just sparked a memory for me. I think your recruit trip at Penn, I think it was you and Caruso. It was a rainy day. It was terrible. They put us through a workout on the track at Franklin Field. And I think that was the day I ran my fastest time mile. So look, I'm around you, and all of a sudden, I ran my best mile. So,
Yeah. No, I remember that. I remember that workout. You guys were busting your butt, man. That didn't look fun.
I said to the strength coach after we got recruits and you have us laying down flat in puddles on the track, how's that supposed to make them want to come here?
Yeah.
and we lost both of the guys. So no, that's great stuff. Normally I ask the coaches, why should wrestlers want to come to their school? But I feel like an idiot asking that question about Cornell, because why would you not want to go to Cornell? Ivy League, unbelievable wrestling program. You're surrounded with the best, great facilities. I mean, do I really have to ask that question? Yeah. What do you say?
I mean, we kind of covered it all, but we're confident in the fact that we have the best combination of everything. I mean, you can come to Cornell and you can win national titles, and you can compete for world Olympic medals as well, and you can also get a first class education. There's not another school in the country that can offer the same combination, right? We're ranked number 2 in the country right now. Going into the season, and we're really pushing to, be the 8th school to win that, the national title. There's only been 7 schools so far, in the history of college wrestling, Division I wrestling. So we're really pushing, and we think we can get it done. But yeah, I mean, if you want to win national titles and, become freshman All-Americans and all that good stuff, and also get an Ivy League education and, have probably the greatest wrestling facility in the world, Cornell is the place for you.
That's it. So, I mean, I got to say, they got it going on. They've had it going on for a while. Oh, one more before you go. I got to bring up watching Yanni's NCAAs. We always see the iconic Mike Gray pointing to his head. What's that about it? How could I end the interview without bringing that up?
Yeah. No, I mean, so early on I started working with Yanni when he was 15. He came up to the RCC. And we always had a good relationship. But then his freshman year, he's coming in, he's going to wrestle. He's a true freshman. And he took his lumps like everybody else in August and September, you know what I mean? But I knew that that freshman snowball was going to happen to him, where he would win a match that he didn't think he was going to win or thought was going to be a tough match. For him, it was beating Meredith in Vegas. And that was kind of the match that shot, that kind of slingshotted him to where he was going to be. And from there, there's a snowball effect of confidence and all that good stuff. But just letting him know early that, there's going to come a point where your mental, I guess your mental stability and your mental toughness is going to pay off for you. And it's going to have to come through in probably the biggest points, the biggest situation. And for Yanni, it was, it was the quarterfinals when he tore his ACL. You know what I mean? And he's wrestling the 2-time defending national champ in his home city. He took a couple losses that year, but I told him, I was like, listen, this guy is going to be ready to go, because he wrestles well at nationals. Obviously, he's a 2-time national champ, and he's in his home city. But then Yanni tore his ACL, and he had the ability to think back and to really just fall back on what he practiced, right? And during the year, I'd always put him in these tough situations in practice. I'd always have him do a little extra, right? And I would just have him envision himself to where he needs to do something that's really difficult and really tough, and really strenuous on his mind more than anything. Being able to stay in the fight, that was a big thing, a big, I guess a war cry: stay in the fight, stay in the fight. No matter what, it doesn't matter. Stay in the fight, and you're gonna find a way to win. I know you will. You know what I mean? So that was it. So every day, honestly, I always preach to him. I was like, listen, there's an opportunity every day for greatness, right? And there's an opportunity every day to challenge yourself mentally. It doesn't have to be a 15-mile run, a marathon, right? It can be, you finish your lift and you're hanging on the pull-up bar. Do a bar hang.
Right.
Do a bar hang and stay in there as long as you can. And there's going to come a point where your mind's going to want you to quit. But if you can, answer the bell, right? The big thing was answer the bell every day, whether it be the massive task or it be an easy task. For him, I was like, listen, it's easy, right? To, get yourself geared up for a tough practice and to push through it there. But when you're in the weight room and you're doing, reverse bench and you're doing pull-ups and you got to get 5 more, answering the bell, then pushing through, things like that. So every day he had a mental task, right? And that really got him to where he was pretty tough mentally. And I was a tough kid to begin with. It's not like I was preaching anything necessarily different. I think it was just a different mouthpiece for him. And then, it all came to fruition where he did. He had to find a way to fight through it all mentally. He had to win three of the toughest matches of his life so far, back to back with a torn ACL. But he just had so much belief in himself, and he knew that he wasn't going to be able to. He knew he couldn't lose, right? He knew that he was going to fall back on his training, and that he was going to find a way to win. And I had absolute confidence in him too. I knew that somehow he'd find a way to win. And that's honestly, every time he steps on the mat, I believe that.
That's awesome.
You talk about it going back to, the trust between an athlete to the coach. There's also the other way, right? I don't know how he's going to get it done, but every time he steps on the mat, I honestly believe he's going to win the bout. So, and I mean, you put him out there against Rashidov. I don't care who it is. Bajrang, he won that match already, but, you put him out there against Kinchishvili. I think he beats all those guys. I really do.
That's awesome.
I don't think there's a way he loses, but yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a bit biased because he's my guy, but yeah. So the whole mind thing is just, it was a year in the making. Honestly, it was a year in the making, and it seldomly doesn't happen to where, I mean, obviously the kids use it and they get better and they jump levels with the mental training. You know what I mean? But like a lot of times it has to do with confidence. He never lacks confidence, but it was just the dealing with adversity, mental side of it is what he had to deal with at nationals that year. And it doesn't always happen to where it's like a freak injury or something happens and then you have to revert back to everything you learned or lean on everything you learned for the mental side of it with dealing with adversity. But it all happened and it all worked out and ended with him pointing to his head.
That's awesome stuff. Well, it seems like when people are at Cornell, when people are around you, great things happen. I remember talking with Mark. We were talking everything, and I would say, well, who are some of your heroes? And right away he said his brother Mike Gray, and he said because of your mental toughness and your hard work. So if you want good things to happen to you in your career, you get around Mike Gray, get around Cornell. So I did appreciate it, Mike.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And then good luck with the baby boy to come.
Thank you. Take care. We'll see you.
Take care. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.